Why would that be interesting to you? Well, for this reason. The CGRP is a marker of pain of some of the forms of headache when they're very severe. And it turns out that CGRP is released in cluster headache as well. Less discussed thing because people are usually focused on migraine there. Actually, this study is one of the things that got me really interested in cluster headache. I was doing it in the early 1990s, and to do it I had to go to see patients with acute cluster headache to sample their blood. And you don't have to see too many to understand there's something really serious going on, unless you're a complete idiot. And I'm not that smart, but I'm not completely stupid. And after the first half dozen, it was pretty obvious to me that this was a bad problem. This was really quite one of those experiences, you say. In the middle of the night when you're with someone who's having a horrible attack like that and they're willing to lay still for you so you can take blood from them, you really start to understand how motivated people are to want to help. And that's always, that I found very personally motivating me to want to get involved in what's going on. Anyway, we showed the CGRP release. So, it's a no-brainer for these companies to look to CGRP antagonist studies in acute cluster headache. I'm sure this will happen in the next 2 years, I would say. Now, what's the biggest advantage is that they don't constrict blood vessels, so it won't have the same liability on the boys, especially the boy smokers, as the triptans do. It'll be interesting because it will change one of the dynamics in this equation that we have of getting people treated. That is paranoia. That it's a convenient paranoia, of course, because it's easy to say that it's unhealthy for you, particularly if it's expensive. But if it's not unhealthy for you, then that will get rid of one of the objections. But the CGRP business will be a watch this space. We don't want to do hundreds of studies with it. I think we want to do perhaps 2 really well done studies and get it done and make it really clear, so that again you push some new chemical entity out, new treatment out into the field. Next slide. And the other thing about the future surgery business. Next slide. It's been a great shame over the years that when we've had when people have had medically refractory, medically untreatable cluster headache, they've turned to surgery, and as dentists drill, surgeons cut, burn or slash. That's the only sort of 3 options that they have. And over the years, much cutting, burning and slashing has been done. Often not to great achievement. These burning of the trigeminal ganglions, unpleasant procedure. Haven't seen it done for a long time. I haven't put a patient up for it for, good Lord, more than